Open bar. Open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar.
And that's where I met O'Bralick.
Okay, shout out to O, man.
My dog.
O'Bralick.
Yeah.
So now I want to talk to you about a lot of the behind the scenes work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna fast forward a bit if you want to jump in, because like I said, when I met you, I like to do something in here when I first meet people.
Mm-hmm.
So I met you through Matt Gavin and O'Bralick at the barber event. And like I said, you always impressed me because you had an agenda, but it wasn't like, hey Snoop, this is what we doing, get with me. Or if you don't get with me, you missing out. It was just kind of like, yo,
That's not my style.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
It didn't feel forced.
It was genuine.
If it's not
different.
organic, I don't want it, you know. I'm not trying to instill my will on anybody, you know. Like, I know what I'm doing. I enjoy it. Anybody that wants to come do it, hey, you know, the more the merrier, you know.
So now you started the FindingBarBara.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, what is FindingBarBara? And second, what was your motivation to start it now?
Yeah, how did that come about?
Okay, let's see. So I'm leaving the fire department, and one of the very, very last days there, I was just wondering in my head if I could still run, because I hadn't run for about 4 years or so.
Okay.
So, you know, I was like, you know what? I'll walk and run and see what I get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to McLaughlin Park because it's by the FDNY headquarters. And I went there and I stretched, and then I headed out, and like I said, I had to run and walk it, you know, going over the bridge, you know, crushed me going home. And then when you get on the other side of that bridge by all the courthouses is Columbus Park.
Yeah.
So I passed Columbus Park, and I was like, it would have been cool if I had actually done something in the first park. And then I stopped here and I did something. And then I just kept running. It was locked, and I ran to the water. And when I got to the water, I passed the East Village, the East River Park.
Okay.
And I was like, that would be a third park that I could do that.
Yeah.
I could do something else there. And then when I saw that, I was like, well, and then Tompkins is right here. I was like, I could probably do something. And you know what it was too? Before all my injuries, I had done Spartan races.
Okay.
Which are obstacle course races. And that was like a craze at the time that I did them, like 2012, 14. So like they were a new thing. And I saw that they had a New York City obstacle course. And it was so corny to me. It was so cheesy that I was like, that's not New York.
Yeah.
That's not New York, sliding over a taxi and flipping a wheel. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it's like New York is like real. New York is real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you something from New York, you know what I mean? So for me, it was like, strip all that nonsense. What if we just do push-ups, pull-ups, and dips, and we run through the city? That's an obstacle course in itself. Run through traffic.
Yeah.
You know,
that was half my childhood.
That was my mentality on it. So I did that park to park, you know, walk, run, and I just felt like I thought that I had something, and I kind of sat on it for a while, and I ran it a couple times by myself, and then, like I said, I started going to TSP more often, and I recognized that there was opportunity there for it to be different than being in a conventional gym.
Yeah.
Because a commercial gym, you put your headphones in and everybody grunts at each other like, you using that type? You know, you don't really meet anybody. There's no community vibe in the gym really. So I went to Tompkins and I took my headphones out and I started bringing a speaker. And then one guy took his headphone out and became friends with him. And then another day became friends with a different guy. And then those guys came and I introduced them to each other. And it's like, oh, I've seen you here before. And they never talked to each other. And I recognized the power of community building.
Yeah.
The opportunity that was in front of me. It was like, these guys have been working out together probably for the last 8 months and they've never said a word to each other. But I just introduced them to each other, and now they're having a conversation. And then the next week I came and they were already there before me, working out without me. And I was like, you know, maybe this could be something. And after a few weeks of that, like I just grabbed like 5 guys from the park and I was like, you know, I have this idea. And it's a total body workout, and we get the opportunity to combine cardio with calisthenics, and it becomes a total body workout, you know. And my other thought process was, we're challenging different communities. The calisthenics community doesn't, you know, historically run.
Yeah, I don't.
And then runners don't do a lot of calisthenics.
Yeah, it's a completely different body build too.
So for me, it was like, I'm gonna challenge both of these communities to do them. And it was also, you know, CrossFit was also coming up, and there's a workout in CrossFit that's the Murph, and the Murph is a very challenging workout. You do like a mile. It's hard, bro. It's like a mile run
with a vest, right?
Yeah, he did it with all his gear too. But it's like a mile run, and then 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, and 300 squats, and then you run another mile. And I did that, and I threw up, and I was like, I like that, you know. I was like, that's a real workout right there. Yeah. So it was my own little spin on it. So yeah, the first run. For me, the name came from because I had just come to understand from people in the parks, because I started floating around a little bit, like people call the bar Barbara. I didn't know that for, you know, I didn't fully understand it or whatever. And I was like, you know, oh, I get that and everything. So in my run, I was going park to park. So every park has Barbara in it. I'm just finding it.
That's
so,
actually...
you know, for me, it just... It made sense to me because it just sounded like that's what it should be called. And on a grander scale of things, I felt like calisthenics is a very male-dominant sport and community. And for me, I looked at it from the side like, you know, females should be able to go to the park too and do a workout and not feel uncomfortable or not feel safe. And so for me, it was like, let me soften it. Because if I call it Finding Barbarians, no women are gonna come. You know what I mean? But if I do that, like, men are gonna come regardless because they already do this. Let's get some women involved. Let's get families involved. Like, you know, and that's also why initially I didn't think that it should be a competition. Because I wanted to make sure that it could be inclusive.
Of course.
You know, you should be able to bring your girl, you should be able to bring your mom, and, you know, everybody should be able to enjoy their own experience within the park. And if you want to do a 40 clip of pull-ups, knock yourself out. If I want to do 25 muscle-ups, then that's my pull. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just felt like it should be able to be everybody's own experience. And I got that out of the Spartan races too, because I was running with that same friend that I was telling you about, and we got to a point where you're like supposed to chuck a spear into like a bale of hay.
Nice.
And he was in front of me, and he got there, and I picked up the spear and I looked over, and he threw it and he missed, and I threw mine and it stuck. And I turned around and he was running behind me. Off, and you're supposed to do like 30 burpees if you miss. And he took off, and I'm like, you missed? And he's like, no, I didn't. I was like, I saw you miss. So when he did that, I was like, this is your own experience. He paid for this. Who's gonna tell him, hey, whoa, you can't leave, do those burpees? He just took off. So for me, it was like, these runs should be everyone's own experience. You make it what you want it to be. If you want to cheat yourself, you could cheat yourself. If you just want to run, you could run. If you just want to come to the first park and do all that's going on there, then you make what it is.
Because my favorite part about your Finding Barbara movement, especially in the early days, was your page. The Finding Barbara Instagram page was a park locator.
Yes.
He had every park. This is on this address. And this is what it has. It doesn't have pulls. It doesn't have push. Like, you know, it was cool. So you really set a map for where the spots are.
and
in
that
New York.
came to me from the Calisthenics Parks.
The app,
.org
that
or whatever.
blue app.
Yeah, like I would go on that to find these parks, and the pictures would be horrible.
Yeah.
There'd be no description.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's helpful. Don't get me wrong. Props to them for being like the originators of it and everything like that. But for me, it was like my first time I told this idea to someone, they were like, "Oh, someone does that already." I was like,
But they don't do it good.
Nike aren't the only people that make sneakers.
Yeah.
Heinz aren't the only ones that make ketchup. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like just because they did it, don't mean I can't do it or I can't approve upon it.
Build on it.
Yeah, I recognize that also from what I could tell. I don't really fully know, but it seemed like that it wasn't people from the States or from New York.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really the mecca for the
I
sport.
used that app when I went to Italy.
Yeah.
I found parks in Italy with that.
You showed me that.
I found
It's really helpful. It's really good, but it really sparked the idea. Like, if you're finding Barber, you need to be able to find it. So, I wanted to really curate it in a better way. So I went around on a bike, taking pictures of each park, taking pictures of each setup, take a picture of the street sign, so you could find it. Like the Central Park, bar setup. No one knows how to find it. It's like a maze.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I went to 85th Street and Central Park West, and I took a picture of it, and then I took a picture of the first right you have to make, and then the bar setup.
What's the park in the Bronx with the red and black padding, with the blue bars?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary. Like, I couldn't find that until I went on that page.
St. Mary's.
Yeah, because it's the cut.
Yeah,
Cut.
And St. Mary's is actually
it's
a big park, and St. Mary's is also the exact same bar setup as East River Park. Same bar,
same color and everything. Blue.
Yeah.
I like the FindingBarBara because, like, you came from basketball. So growing up, I used to go to different basketball courts. Like, who got next?
Right.
Who got next? And then so it's like traveling to different courts, playing different people. And then I do that to this day. Go to different bars.
Yeah.
I randomly stop out of nowhere. I could be going to do laundry, and I'm like, let me stop and do this. What's that?
It's like a little bit of a. It's like people be with me, and I'm like, that's the pull up ball. Pull over. They're like,
Yeah.
Like, hold on a second. We'll take a picture of that real quick. Where are we? They're like, yo, take it easy, bro.
You send a text to the street sign. People are like, what's this? I just have to remember it.
Found a new park. Found a new park.
So I definitely want to come back to the FindingBarBara because there's an event coming up very soon. But I want to touch on the present version of Vinny right now, as a member of the NWO. So first of all, talk to us and our viewers about your mission, your goals, like what you're trying to help calisthenics get to.
Unity.
Yeah.
Unity. That's it. Unity. I think that just like they say, you want to be associated with like-minded individuals and everything like that. You got a lot of lions, a lot of alpha male individuals. You got a lot of OGs. You got originators. You have a lot of people with a lot of great ideas and everything like that. And then you have this wave of prospects that are coming up from, this social media era that are obsessed with a muscle up and, learning a muscle up 360 and a handstand and stuff like that. I personally think that calisthenics has changed the game to the point where it's like, back in the day, I think it used to be a benchmark on like a man's strength or whatnot if you could put up 135 on your chest press, right? And I feel like that flat bench is obsolete. It's a muscle up now. Can you do a muscle up? No? Oh, okay. You know what I mean? All right. So I just think that the whole movement, FindingBarBara, the NWO, what we're doing, is about collaborating. It's about being inclusive. It's about really just trying to build everything out homegrown. We don't need Nike. We don't need Reebok. We don't need Asics. We don't need nothing. You know what I mean? Like, we can do it ourselves. We have a media platform that we're on right now. There's a website. We're doing events, collaborating and cohesively and building out calendars, and we're taking care of each other.
So talk to us about the website.
The website, website came to me through quarantine.
Okay.
Quarantine.
FindingBarBara.com.
Yes.
FindingBarBara.com.
FindingBarBara.com. Originally, the site was, we didn't know what the site was going to be really, but we had a page on there that was for trainers. And I had about myself and 3-4 other trainers on there with their bios, and the bios were like this long, and I was like, who's going to read this?
Yeah.
You know, no one's reading this. And I lost my father about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, sorry.
So when my father passed away, my father was a drug addict, so he wasn't in my life until I was about 14, 15 years old. I never had an overnight. I had like maybe 3 memories childhood where we did something together. And so he really didn't give me much. And then the last few years before he passed, we had finally started to build a friendship. And he left me a baseball card collection from like the 80s. He left me like, I mean, thousands and thousands of baseball cards from the 80s and the early 90s when I was a kid. So during quarantine, I opened up all these books and all these boxes and everything. And I was going through the cards. And I was also reading some books in regards to like marketing and how to stay on course to something. And I was just trying to figure out what the next move was. And it just kind of came to me. I was like, what if I changed this page to the community page?
Okay.
You know, because most independent trainers, forget the athletes, you know, most independent trainers don't have their own website. Or don't have the time or the know-how to build their own website or the money to pay someone to build their website or pay someone to build it the right way. So I was like, what if we just make this a platform for independent trainers? And then it went from that, while I'm looking at all these baseball cards and all these team logos, and I started thinking about, well, we got Bars Are Us, and we got Boss Life, and we got, you know, Team Sparta, and, you know, you got all these West Coast teams, and there's this and that. And I was like, we got our own league right here. What if we take these logos and we put them on the community page so everybody can find us?
Having a main page as a hub to find other parts of the community
to navigate, because you know what I recognize, like my social media, for instance, you know, my feed is a lot of calisthenics athletes, but then it's also the regular people, and they don't care necessarily. You know, they might be intrigued a little bit, but they don't really understand it. So I was like, you know what if we give them one place to digest it all,
like one big league.
So, you know, we put the logos, and then from going through the baseball cards, I was just like, you know what if we make our own cards type of thing?
That was so fire.
And then when we flip it over, you have the back of a baseball card.
Stats.
But that's our resume. You know, why do you want to work with me? Because I'm certified in this, and this, because I competed at this, and this is why I love calisthenics. What about you? And this is how to find me.
I remember you was asking me my bio and resume and accomplishments and stuff in the game and calisthenics.
You know, I also think that too, you know, as a park dominant community, we don't get enough respect. You know, because we're in the park. Oh, you work out in the park? Oh, you know what I mean? Or you're a trainer? Where do you work? I work at Equinox. I work at Dog Pound. You know, it's like,
do you think that's still the case post-pandemic? Because everybody came to the park during the pandemic. They had no choice.
Weightlifters was with
it's a yes and no, because like they were kind of like, it's like, get out of here. Like, people that don't understand the dynamic of the park and the community. They brought the gym mentality to the park where they don't want to say hello and you know what I mean, standoffish and stuff. So I wasn't really enthused about that, but you definitely had opportunity for new people to find out about what's going on and stuff like that. I did think that was a good time to be doing what we're doing, absolutely. But you know, I think that the card also it raises us to a certain level of eliteness as an athlete.
Certification too.
Right. Validation in a sense. I mean, I don't think anybody necessarily needs to be validated, but you know, for the masses, you know, a certain level of professionalism and you know, for me, I mean, I remember being a little kid, and when I got Jose Canseco's baseball card, he was like larger than life. You know, so I wanted to start it on the community page and building out the different teams and who's in these teams and what they're about, and then also on top of it, tie it to the YouTube channels, because that's another wave, another facet that's coming. And
that's very big now, YouTube.
I also kind of look at it in the manner of like the origins of Wu-Tang.
Okay.
You know, Wu-Tang, cohesively 9 members. They came in and they changed hip hop, and they were revolutionary. But then they were able to independently go have their own discography and get their own deal.
And then still do the group.
I kind of looked at it
too.
like, this is Finding Barbara. This is the calisthenics community. But then on top of it, you can still click on Snoop's card and flip it over and go to Snoop's YouTube channel and find out all about Snoop. You know, and on the back of that card is Snoop's IG and his email. If you like his style and what he's about and everything like that, you can go work out with Snoop.
Contact.
So I thought that it was it's a great way for us to be cohesive, but then also have our own independence.
Absolutely. So I personally think things like that is obviously the right step in the direction of us getting off the ground. Because me and you have spoken many times about, you know, just where the game is, where we think it should be. We recognize some of the places that we're still stuck on that we need to move past. And, you know, all of these things play a role. So you stepping up, because I say it all the time, you coming in as kind of like the neutral party, you're not tied to anything. You know, you're not there, you're not there. You're just speaking from a neutral experience standpoint, because
I'm a fan.
Everybody heard the story. You have experience in almost every walk of life right now, but you apply it to your passion. Which means a lot, because me and Millz talked about this off camera. When we say the Spartan lifestyle, that's not just the workout. You understand? Like, you know, we apply that with everything, with
absolutely
everything. So when you take that mentality, that shows the professionalism, like you said.
Accountability. You know, for me, it was like where the bulb went off is I've been working on getting a handstand for 5 years. 6 years.
Okay.
You know, I remember being in my firehouse 2012, falling over and trying to figure it out, and couldn't get it. And when I finally got my first handstand on a set of P-bars in the park, it was actually St. Albans Park. I actually rode my bike to go meet Chi.
Oh, nice. Orange bars or purple bars?
They were beige. They were like beige.
That's the
like
one by the basketball court.
Yeah.
That's
like
the
orange.
tan.
Yeah, it's like burgundy-ish by the basketball court, right?
And Sam put me on to Chi.
Yeah.
About her, you know, what she does holistically and everything with the natural supplements. And my father was sick.
Yeah.
So I hit her up and I rode my bike all the way to Jamaica, Queens to meet her to get these capsules for my father's digestive system.
Yeah.
And I Googled and searched and hunted if there was a park out there. I was like, if I'm going to be out here, I might as well find a park.
Yeah.
And that was the park that I got my first handstand on P-bars. And for me, it was like, if I could be this obsessed with something and I could be this consistent with something, I can do this in other facets of my life. You know, so in terms of it being a lifestyle, it's like, let me let this now trickle into other parts of my life, you know? This mentality that I have towards this movement and this movement. Let's do that with other things.
That was actually the first part I flipped over on the dip bars trying to do the handstand.
You know something? Yeah, real quick, that was always a huge fear of mine. And I recognize if you sit in the back of your hand, you don't flip over, you come back down.
Okay.
I recognize it in that park, and that took out. You sit back. It's like a throttle. It's like a throttle. So you sitting back here while you're kicking up, you'll come back down.
Wow.
You won't kick over.
So in closing, or the last two things I want to talk about. So, what is the NWO, and what does the NWO mean to you?
The NWO to me is really like the best of the personalities. You know, I touched on Wu-Tang, but I also am a huge wrestling fan. So the WWE, WWF when I was a kid, it had the superstars and it had the big personalities and stuff like that. And the NWO was the best of the best. They just started grabbing the best people. So, You know, I think it's a unifying opportunity, but also, like I said, you know, the best. Like right now, myself, you, Vogue from Boss Life, Bolo from Bar Crazy. You know, I think that it's a movement in itself, and I think it's very important because there's really special people in this community, you know, and there's very strong individuals, unique personalities, and you know, that's what a star is, you know. You know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be all the way in the Hollywood Hills and all that, you know, for your light to shine bright. So,
because I'm glad, like having you on, I wanted to speak about what the NWO means to me. It's the New World Order. A lot of people, like I said, I'm a big wrestling fan too. You know, back in the day, it was the Attitude Era. These are the bad guys. They were the cool bad guys. So, you know, a lot of people receive the NWO as, oh, y'all trying to tell us what to do. And that's not what it is.
I think it's about unity,
The New World Order, just because of the name, it's literally stating that we need to change. Like, if you want something different, you have to do something different. You got to change how you move. Because, like I said, this unity. Like we have people from different organizations working together, no matter what you use the bar for. You use it to do freestyle. I use it to just do reps. They use it to do statics. This person may just use it to.
And I also think that it should be bigger than individual agendas or feelings.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
This is important, and I think that we have a great opportunity to really lay the groundwork for other people coming after us if we organize it the right way and we put aside whatever issues we got with this and the egos and that alpha male type mentality and stuff, and really drive home that unity. You know, I mean, I got a saying is move like a unit until the unit is a movement. You know, and I think that. I think it holds weight, you know. I mean, I could do this all day by myself and maybe get 20, 40, 50. I mean, I've gotten 85 people that I run before. But, I mean, how much more powerful is it when we merge together? You know what I mean? I mean, you look at what happens with big corporations, right? You know, when they merge together, telephone companies merge together and everything. And it's just like...
When T-Mobile and Sprint got together?
That's it. It's right. So that's what I'm saying. I just think that... taking all the personal stuff out of it and taking the agendas out of it and really just focusing on the community primarily and where we're trying to go cohesively. Like, I mean, the sky.
What's next, and like, what's in the next works for you? Like, do any events coming up?
So Snoop, myself, and the Vogue from Boss Life, we've been collaborating, trying to build out a calendar to build out consistency. So we had Boss Life in January. We have March Madness. And FindingBarBara is next. We're going to bring one back on April 24th. We're going to introduce some competitive aspects to it to try to bring that continuity, carry it over from the Boss Life event. So we're going to kind of sandwich the run between a muscle up comp and a weighted reps comp. So this is the first time that we're doing that. I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. And the real goal of it is, like I said, to just continue unifying things and bringing people out. The muscle up comp will start things, and then we're going to go into the run. And the run itself, I really like to keep it inclusive and community vibes.
No, of course. That's the best part about it to me.
So I really don't like charging for the runs. I think that they should be free for the community. If you have no bread, come. If you have money, come and buy something.
So walk me through the event as if I'm a person that is new to the bar. So we're gonna meet at Thompson Square Park, and what's the first thing that happens there?
We're gonna do the muscle up comp at 11 a.m. and we're gonna use that while people are kind of trickling in, and then the run itself will happen at noon. It should take about 2 hours. I'm thinking it's going to be 3 different parks. So we start in Tompkins. We run to the East River. It's about 3/4 of a mile. And each park we do a different movement.
Okay.
That's kind of how I've tailored it.
I was wondering, like, so you're gonna do a muscle up comp in every park? Like,
No. So we start in the park, and that's just for the competitors, whoever signed up for it, and day of, and then there's day of sign-ups as well and everything. But the muscle up comp will go on, and then we'll prep the people that are going to go for the run portion.
Okay.
And in that park now, we're going to do core movements. So the way I figure it is, I can do front levers, so that's progressive. So we put a cap of like 50 reps, core reps, right? If I can do front levers, that's progressive. So I'll count that as 2 reps.
So there's still an instructional side to this where, I
Yeah,
guess
but
the
it's-
leaders of the run are kind of teaching.
Yeah, we're going to have guides and stuff like that. But the way I see it really is like, it should be your own experience.
But it's very beginner friendly is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Well, that's
So
what I'm saying.
learning
Like, the
experience
progressive
also.
side of it, the highest, like that portion, right, would be a front lever. It counts as 2 reps. For someone that wants to compete and do that, right?
Yeah.
You want to try to get off 25 front levers because they count as 2. So you can get out the gate.
Gotcha.
But for someone that can't do a front lever or doesn't even know what a front lever is, you can do toe to bar, you can do a leg raise, you can do a knee raise, you can go to a bench and do knee-ins, you can do mountain climbers. There's so many different variations. You
Just
can do
engage
scissors.
the core,
Yeah, it's just the point is just to be moving and do those movements in that park and activate your core, and then we run. And now the second park will be pulling movements.
Okay.
So the same type of mentality, right? So the most progressive pulling movement would be a muscle up. So if you could do 25 muscle ups, again, you right out the gate because it's 50 reps in there. And if you can't, you can do pull ups, you can do chin ups, you can do rows, you can do banded pull ups, you can do banded chin ups. There's just to scale it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we run to the third park, Seward Park in the Lower East Side. And that'll be pushes.
Okay.
So pushes are dips and push-ups.
Yeah.
So you can mix and match that, and that's 100 reps.
Okay.
Progressive would be 50 reps. You can do handstand push-ups, like with your foot up against the, something.
Any type of push movement.
Any pushing movement, period. Right. Exactly. Like, I think O brought his mom and she did like bench dips.
Oh yeah.
That counts. That's her money. That's her experience.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no
Right. Well, that's why I say all the time.
That's
why I say all the time. All fitness levels are welcome, because it's supposed to be inclusive. It's trying to show that the park is a free, no judgment.
Yes. Yeah. All are welcome.
Come do what you want. Come outside. It's okay. And then also I think it's a great networking opportunity, whether it be meeting like-minded individuals that you can now work out with.
Yeah.
Finding a trainer if you need a trainer. Females be coming if you looking for a girlfriend, a boyfriend,
You also having you said a weighted pull up.
Yeah. So now after Seward Park, we run back to Tompkins, and when we arrive at Tompkins, we'll be a weighted reps comp.
Okay, so that's the
And that's
conclusion.
separate. That's separate from the run. The run is the run.
That's just the
It's
bonus.
Right.
You're
That's how we close
introducing
out.
the competitive aspect to.
Yes, that's our audience.
Okay.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Dope.
It's our audience. We're pulling back the curtain to regular people that might want to come for a run, might get some money and everything like that, and show them,
Bringing more people.
y'all did that and everything, but this is what it looks like at an elite level. This is elite. This is elite competition. So
Giving them a show.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And maybe get a couple freestylers out to go crazy at the end of it again. So I think that it's going to be a great day. It should be really fun. It's all about community vibes.
I'm very, very much looking forward to this.
April
event, man.
24th.
I've never been to one before. I'm one of the calisthenics athletes he was talking about that hates running.
Are you gonna run?
I can run. I can. Don't get it twisted, because I be dusting Puda up and down that basketball court.
I think he's quick.
Listen, something? Someone said that to me the other day. I was like, "You run?" And he was like, "Yeah, I play basketball." I was like, "That's not running, bro."
Yeah.
Now, but I'm so you see when you walked in here what I was doing. If someone says the right thing,
Yeah.
I will run.
Okay.
If someone says the right thing, and most likely one of them are gonna say it. Oh, already did it. So, I'm very much looking forward to it, man. Because, like I said, you have a very big fan of me. That's why I was so eager to
I
work
appreciate
with
it.
you
Thank
with
you.
everything we doing. I think that the Finding Barber run, especially one of your events had 80-something people.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. Like,
that was one of the last ones that we did.
And that was just off of your persistence.
Yeah, just going park to park,
just
park to park, go to my rush.
Yeah. So that thing is very well needed.
I think the people need it right now.
No, absolutely, yeah.
People need to be able to go and hang out and
spring is here.
And it's a positive environment. It's not a nightclub and when you're doing drugs and getting drunk in a dark room. Like,
no beer.
I look back on my 20s and I'm like, what was I doing? Like, no hangover. It might be a little sore, but
I get
but
it's good money. It's a good sore.
That's
a good sore.
No doubt, man. So,
yes, sir.
So
yeah, April 24th, Saturday, April 24th. So 2 Saturdays. The website is up, the events page.
Okay.
FindingBarBara.com/events. The homepage has a click on it too. You can register. The run itself is free, so you can just register with your name and an email. If anybody's feeling froggy, jump into a competition. And then there's also, we're gonna run we're doing a gauntlet, which is someone, if you should want to sign up, muscle up, do the run competitively, and then do the weighted, all 3 of them. And that'll be an overall winner.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can the people find you on social media?
Social media, I'm on Instagram, Vincent Michael without the vowels, VNCNT_MCHL.
Okay.
I have a TikTok too, same thing. That's pretty much it. There's Barber TV, the YouTube that we collectively have work to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
As a community, I think that's also another community building tool that's been untapped.
Yeah.
For us in terms of the realm of reality TV.
Yeah.
I think you guys have been doing a great job with it. I watched
you.
The series, the Coach Cap series. I thought that was great. I think it's a great way to start, set the tone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
But definitely, Millz, you got anything else in closing?
Nah, just appreciate
all your Vincent questions answered.
Yeah.
Cool. Nah, but I'm very
much.
much
You on to the whole handstand. I'm gonna definitely look into that.
Yeah. Do it on the floor get parallettes on the low joints. Yeah.
So definitely want to thank you for coming by, man, sharing your story with us. Once again, Finding Barber, April 24th. We're doing the first run of 2021. Looking forward to seeing a lot of people there. The NWO movement has a lot more competitions coming out, collaborative work. We're just trying to put the stuff out for all of us to enjoy, because at the end of the day, we need each other. We can move further together than separately. So once again, Vinny, want to thank you for coming out, my brother.
Appreciate you.
My man. Dope story.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you.
So once again, man, this is Open Bar, Season 3. We would like you to... What's the 4th for? What, episode? Shut up, Huda. So we want to thank y'all for dropping in. Like I said, support. All of these movements need help. So support FindingBarber.com. I'm so sorry. We didn't even talk about half the merch this man has on that website. So everybody that is trying to get into fitness, is not, Finding Barber is not just a hub to find out who's who. You can get equipment to start your workout journey. You can get exclusive clothing. Everything. So
find parks.
And find parks as well. So FindingBarber.com is a must go to for you to just, if you're already in the calisthenic community, I guarantee you'll learn more from that website. And if you're starting out, that's the great starting point. So once again, FindingBarber.com is where it all starts, and we're looking forward to seeing y'all on the 24th.
Amen.
Snoop out. Open bar done.
Open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar.